Are women suited for space travel? Welcome to Mark and Pete. Here's a thought.
Smart spacesuits and rugged boots will help you successfully walk on the moon, but with planetary pursuits, nothing computes where the dish ran away with the spoon. Yes, what happened to the spoon in space? But more importantly, yes, the new generation of spacesuits for humanity's return to the trip to the moon is now underway. Yes, NASA has unveiled brand new novel design suits for women, not just for men. This means that we can now actually explore new horizons, astronauts, whether they be male or female, and this will give a new generation of female space travelers the opportunity to go to the moon. Clergyman Pete, I ask you, what do you think about bringing your family to the moon? And do you think that really that money is well spent traveling into outer space?
Interesting question. Yeah, I think to me that's not an important question. I mean, money is. Money is fungible. You use it for lots of different things, and if you weren't spending it on this, you'd be spending it on a different project. So it seems like an exciting project to me. I don't have a problem with money being spent on it. I don't think because you spent money on this, a hospital wasn't built, for example. It's not directly linked like that. There isn't a fixed amount of money. People, we have money that's allocated for certain things. We get people to give in money for certain projects that wouldn't be given to others. So it just isn't that simple. So I don't have a problem from that sense. I think that space travel is still extremely dangerous. So I'm not looking to try it out soon.
Oh. Well, look, let's go back to the point here, which is to send female astronauts to space. Yes. Now, this has previously been scuppered by the lack of spacesuits in their size. And a well-fitting suit is important, not just for men, of course, but also for women. And what's happened?
Well, I've always found that. I always like to wear a well-fitted suit.
Well, I've never really thought that you were quite of this planet anyway. Yes. But anyway, here's the point of fact. In 2019, NASA had planned to send an entirely female team of astronauts to complete a spacewalk from the International Space Station. But just days before...
I guess it was going to be called Space Girls instead of Spice Girls. Right?
Yes, I can see where you're going there. Yes. But anyway, my point was that Anne McLean and Christina Koch, they were actually due to depart and walk on this particular Intrepid episode. But unfortunately, their suits really inhibited them and caused them some problems. Now, that's unfortunate, but what we now see is that this investment has been put in, and it means that women can now be part of this process. As far as I'm concerned, at the end of the day, it's the best person to do the job. And the good thing is that both in terms of helmets, fitted suits, etc., definitely, I think space exploration is a good thing. Here's the reason from my side. Many engineers and scientists have discovered that, of course, there is the potential of water and many minerals and valuable resources on other planets, not just the moon, but also on other planets as well. And I think that the idea of space exploration is a good one. So investments, yes, definitely, certainly we need a lot more investment in hospitals, education and elsewhere. But if we as a species are to progress, I think that we're probably much convinced that we do need to explore new territories. Okay. So, Clergyman Pete, we come back to space exploration. So with women, it seems that also that more work needs to be done at school. Yeah. Not as many people, for example, engineers, scientists, and physics specialists, and biologists and chemists. There's just not enough women going into the profession. Why is that?
Well, I think the simple answer is that they don't want to do it. I don't think it is a problem. I've worked in education, and there are many brilliant. I taught physics, brilliant girls at physics, and also brilliant boys. I was teaching the top level students in the school, but The fact is that not as many women want to do it for all sorts of different reasons. I think it's a matter of choice. And this has been seen in countries such as Sweden, where there's a major emphasis on equality, not just equality, but promoting women's involvement in such fields, but giving them free choice of what to do.
Yes.
And they, if anything, no, not just if anything. What happened was there was a move towards women taking the more traditionally female professions. I think it's just what women want to do. I don't think that in itself is an issue. I think you do need to remove any barriers, like the suit. I mean, the most laughable thing about the problem with the suit, the title of this episode is, "Are Women Suited for Space Travel?" And of course, they haven't been suited, because the word suits being provided. The suits were in different sizes, and NASA genuinely thought that women could just wear smaller men's suits.
Yes.
So what you can imagine the government saying, "What, women? They're just like small men, aren't they?" There were other differences as well.
Yes.
And so I think this move to have spacesuits that are specific tailored to them removes a barrier. I would like to see women going to space and being part of all, having expertise in physics and engineering, which would be expertise you needed to go to space. But it'd be good to have more women in those areas. But the way that you do is by removing barriers and encouraging them. But you can't force them.
No, but there is one thing that is important, and I do think that, I don't know, maybe you don't want to take your family to outer space, and
not just yet.
Not just yet. But here's the thing: scientifically, both men and women being put under scrutiny and rigors and training is crucial from the point of view of understanding respiratory requirements. So whether it be the amount of oxygen a man needs versus a woman, the right type of pressures for the astronauts, what sort of effects it would have on people's lungs, etc. All of these sort of things are great learnings. And I think from my point of view, I definitely think that, going into outer space, whether we do or actually see NASA put somebody else back on the moon, because it hasn't been since the 1970s, folks, that's something that I think will be good for the whole of humanity. I do think here we're getting closer. We've seen lots of space explorations, not necessary to the moon, of course, but certainly where probes have gone out, we're doing lots of other things in terms of understanding the world and the universe in which we live. So here's the thing then, Clergyman Pete, I ask you as a closeout, I think we should ask our listeners, do we think, at what point in time do we think that we can have an entire family living on the moon? Why not?
Yes.
It's certainly the house prices in this area are getting very expensive.
Yes, and one of the critical things that is to do with space. So if you can go into space and do it, then why not? Yeah, listen, let us know. We'd love to hear your opinion. Go to markandpete.com, make sure you're subscribed, and leave a comment on this and every episode. But for now, it's goodbye from Mark and myself. And remember, it's one small step for woman, but one giant leap for womankind. Bye for now.